In this video, we are going to explore some limitations of using Google Sheets alone for this purpose and demonstrate how using Columns AI can simplify and enhance the building and sharing experience. Google Sheets is powerful for data management and analysis. Its collaborative features, real-time updates, and cloud accessibility make it a popular choice for individuals and teams. Today, there are 900 million monthly active users on Google Sheets. However, there are quite a few limitations when we're using Google Sheets for insights. So, what challenges do we face when building and sharing charts in Google Sheet? The first challenge is a steep learning curve. Do you ever feel like Google Sheet is speaking another language? You're not alone. We all may spend hours to get one little thing figured out sometimes. For example, the second challenge is it is lacking visual appeal. Google Sheets is great at crunching numbers, but when it comes to looking good, well, let's say it's no Canva. The third is error prone. Did you ever move a row or change the column? Only see this? Yeah, Google Sheet is powerful, but it's also very fragile. One tiny mistake and your entire sheet can unravel like a poorly tied shoelace. Last challenge is for sharing. Sharing insights should be simple, but when it comes to Google Sheets, you only have two choices. Either you have to screenshot the charts and send it as an image, maybe through email, or you have to share the whole sheet out, which means you expose all raw data numbers. So now, how do we overcome these challenges? What if we have an AI chat? Imagine asking your spreadsheet questions like you would ask a friend, and it just like answers. No formulas, no guesswork. Think an easy way to make a vivid, engaging, and unforgettable story presented to your audience. Your data deserves more than the default looking on spreadsheet. Lastly, you should be able to share it confidently. With data in sync, you'll never have to worry about last-minute updates. Your slides stay accurate while maintaining your data behind by yourself. So next, let's look at how Columns AI helps the whole process. Columns AI is an isolated presentation layer on top of Google Sheets. This is the standard storytelling process. Let me explain. Step 1, you connect your spreadsheets. Step 2, you chat with the connection. By chatting, you analyze the data in a visual way. Step 3, you pick one design and start to storytelling. Storytelling including styling, change theme, add annotations, add shapes, add widgets. All kinds of like creative tools you can use to make the story outstanding. Step 4 is sharing. By saving the story to your workspace, you are able to set any kind of like permission access to your audience, so you can embed them, share them in your own website or in other places. Step 5, set up a schedule to keep your data in sync with your story. This is optional. Sometimes people just share it once, but a lot of other times people want to keep it in sync so they can maintain the data at the behind, but the story will be automatically updated. In the next step, let's use a demo to show the whole process from step 1 to step 5 and see how easy it is working with Columns AI to achieve this. Now is showtime. Let's look at the demo. Step 1, connect your spreadsheets. This is one spreadsheet example. In this example, you can see it's very standard transaction data. It has first column date, second column name, transaction name. Third column is merchant or the vendor name. Then is the transaction type, basically the categorization. Then is the transaction amount, currency, city, and region. So what do we do connection is pretty simple. You make sure this spreadsheet is accessible, copy the link, go to columns, start a story, and here you can see we have connect Google Sheet type. So you just like click it, paste the URL. Based on the access permissions you set, you can choose any of them. Either it's public or you share it with Columns bot account, so other people cannot access, only Columns bot can access. Or you can authenticate with Google, so you can access your private spreadsheets. So in this case, it's public. Let's just like click to connect. The second step is basically trying to preview the data with connecting your spreadsheets. As you may notice that nothing is changed. Some of the type is text type, some of them is number type. And you can also see columns identified the time series. With time series, you have very flexible timeline analysis capabilities later. So you can see here, we actually have date format detected, like year, months, and day. Now let's just save it as a new connection. Once the connection is saved, the data will be loaded in columns cluster. Once data is connected and loaded, let's come to the step 2. Step 2 is build. Basically means we're building some graphs in an easy way. Let's take a look. In the last step, we successfully connected all Google Spreadsheets data and loaded it. So now it's time to analyze the data and build some graphs. So first you can see you can manually construct some queries if you're familiar with metrics, which is value to display, segmented key, or conditions. Or ignoring this, we can directly go to AI chat and to use in a conversation to generate something useful. Without knowing anything, I mean, we can get some help from the hints. For example, can you suggest some data visualizations for us? So the AI will be working on the schema. By looking at the schema, it will trying to suggest us some useful visualization. For example, the radar visualize the spending amount across different types to get a multi-dimensional view of expense. Okay, this sounds good. So let's take a look. Just copy paste. As you can see, this question specifies quite a few different things. First thing is how the query is constructed. So we can directly go to edit the graph. As you can see, this is a radar graph, and it shows how things distributed across all the different types. Once we got a graph, we have next step is design and storytelling. Note that the whole canvas is the canvas you can edit and design. Everything is movable, and every items is configurable, means you can click any items and change its content or change its styles. For the styling part, you can manage your own styles, or you can use in some preset styles to build your own like consistent styled data story. So first I want to filter out the income because I want to only focus on the expense part. So let's do a filter here, which is amount, or we can use type to not type, not in paycheck, if I remember correctly. As you can see here, this is only paycheck, it's positive. So you can do this, And because everything is inactive now, we can do some flip work here, right? As you can see, now it looks much better. We can also use in the bar chart to display it. And once I click the bar, I can get quite a few configurations. I can color by key. I can use in a categorical palette rather than the gradient one. So it makes things looks more outstanding for each type. And I can also do extra annotations. I already showed some widget. Feel free to change the name, right? You can say like total expense. So it makes things looks better. This is automatically changed. Of course, you can do AI generation to get a better annotations, and then I can distribution of total expense by type. We build and then design a good story. Next step is share with people. This is very straightforward. Let's take a look. I just go ahead to save this first, or you can directly say sharing. So I can click share. Because the story is saved to my workspace now, I can set the permissions. Either I can share with specific people by the email. So those people will get email notifications with secret link to this graph. Or I can make it public. By making it public, I'm able to embed it to my website and or have a unique wizard link. So I can copy this link and I can save this. I copied the link. As you can see now, this is publicly viewable by any people on the internet. So people got this, interactive data story to look at. Another share to worth to mention is we want to let other people to explore in the same data set as what we do here in the demo. So what you do is basically you can share with others. This link is quite different because it doesn't share the final results. It's sharing the data with people so other people can explore it. Usually the data is protected by a secret. So you can generate a secret here and a toggle either share or not share. If it's in a shared state and other people get your link, they can explore in the same data set as what we did here. But if you close it, and basically that means they cannot analyze it anymore. This is another sharing, means we're sharing the data explorer rather than sharing created graph. Last step, after we shared with people or data story, we want to keep it to up to date to my data. So whenever I make editing in my Google spreadsheets, my story will automatically update it. That is called a schedule. Setting up a schedule on columns is super simple. Let's take a look. So now we have our data saved and shared. And we may save multiple versions. Let's go back to workspace. And we can see this is the data. This is the data stories we just produced. Setting a schedule, it's just one menu item. As you can see, it has a schedule here. What you need to do is just turn it on. Once you turn it on, you are able to set a schedule frequency. You can do 1 hour every 1 hour to sync with your spreadsheets, 2 hours or 6 hours. Depends on your frequency. It's very expensive if you make it very frequent. So just be careful. You don't want to waste too much resource if you don't need to. In the demo session, we have gone through the 4 major steps in data storytelling process on columns. Step 1, connect data. Step 2, build story. Step 3, share with people. Step 4, set schedule. Hope you have already mastered the process, combining columns AI with the Google spreadsheets. separate your raw data management and presentation management. I hope this combination simplifies your data storytelling journey and process. Happy data storytelling. Wish you all the best. Thank you for watching the video. Bye.